one day I want to be like David Dobrik. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel, 1497 right now, and let's get it popping. Boys, this is weird how we're doing this now because we're not in person.
2 years ago.
Here.
We're not in person.
Like,
And this is 2 years in the making.
Get into this.
Facts.
Sheesh. Jesus. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and we were for some parts of it, and that was not fun at all.
We got Kansas, Mizzou, Wisconsin, Louisville, go Cards. Yes, sir. We all in here.
Go Badge, baby.
Go Jayhawks, rock chalk. All right, so the first question. I know you guys saw this game on Sunday. It was the most talked about game the whole weekend. We got the GOAT, Tom Brady, versus Patty Mahomes.
The future GOAT.
Super Bowl MVP and Super Bowl champion. But I didn't like the way Tom Brady was playing. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Devin, start us off.
He struggled early. Tyreek Hill put up better than video game numbers in the first half. They started off behind. Tom Brady threw a couple of picks. But at the end of the day, it was a close game. And Tom Brady really turned it around. He ended up throwing pretty good, even though I know Trevor wouldn't say that. But I think the Buccaneers are a contender after watching that game because I think the Chiefs are the best team in the league.
I agree. I agree with that. The Chiefs are the best, but Tom Brady's ass. Tom Brady's been ass for multiple years now.
Tom Brady. My bad.
He once him and Belichick split up, just shows you Tom's not the GOAT, Belichick's the GOAT. So that's really about it.
I don't know. Tom Brady just finds a way to win, though.
Not against the Chiefs. Not against the Chiefs.
Not against the Saints either.
Or against the Saints.
Now I'd like to
mollywop by the Saints.
Yes.
Hey,
I'd like to say
on stage anything. Tom Brady this year is 2-5 against teams above 500. I just want to throw that stat out there.
There you go.
Okay. I'd like to say first off, I think Devin, you're a Tom Brady fan, right? You know, I mean,
I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but I have a lot of respect.
Yes, you are.
For him.
Yes,
I got a lot of respect for Tom Brady. I don't like seeing him win, but he just consistently wins.
That goes into my point where Tom Brady and Belichick need each other. Actually, I don't think Belichick needs Tom Brady as much as you think. Even though I'm not sure what the Patriots' record is. Like, I'm pretty sure they're below 500.
Like 5-6 or something.
Bro, Cam Newton's getting it done with, like, Tom Brady did not have. Like, bro, Cam Newton does not have
the most
same players.
COVID sit-outs.
Yeah, exactly. Cam Newton does not have the same players that Tom Brady had when he was Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady is washed. Straight up. Tom Brady is washed. He was never my GOAT. Rodgers, I believe, is the
Thank you.
GOAT. He was never my GOAT. Even though Tom Brady won rings, I think Rodgers is a way more efficient quarterback, and I think Rodgers is a better quarterback. That goes on to me saying Tom Brady is not going to get a ring again until he leaves the NFL. Let me tell you why, okay? Look at that offense. There is no way don't get me wrong, right? The Chiefs have best quarterback in the NFL, right? Decent O-line. Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, okay? The Bucs have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronkowski, Brady, and Antonio Brown. Dude,
Leonard Fournette.
But he's like 42, 43 years old, and he was making no-name receivers, good receivers back then.
Think about it. Hold on. Wait. But see, Devin, what I'm saying is, right, you're saying that, right? But I'm saying he's not winning a ring again in the NFL. He's not winning a ring again.
I don't think he will either. I think they're a contender. I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to win the Super Bowl because I don't believe that. But I think they're a contender for this year, probably for next year. I don't know about after that.
Devin,
that team will probably fall apart.
I'm gonna have to disagree.
If he doesn't retire after this season, then
I'm gonna have to disagree about the contender, and I'm gonna go back to your point. Tom Brady has. I'm gonna go back to Anja's point first before I go on to your point. Tom Brady has Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski. You have all these receivers, and you're 7-5. Like you have all these weapons to your inventory, and you're only 7-5. Like I feel like you should have a better record than that, because I feel like if you gave Rodgers that position or Russell Wilson that position, that Buccaneers team will be a better team, better record wise than 7-5. And yeah, there's some people that would argue about that, but that's what I think about the Buccaneers. And then them not being contenders, I'm gonna go on that right now. You got to think about the Saints. The Saints have been playing phenomenal the past 2 weeks without Drew Brees. Their defense has stepped up. I was the one that said the Saints defense is not that. The Saints defense is not a top-tier defense. They have proved me wrong. You got to think about the Seahawks. Seahawks got
top 3 defense.
Then Tyler Lockett, Chris Carson, and then you always got Russell Wilson in your back pocket too. I don't think
that defense is not that. I don't think that's a championship level defense.
Russ has been falling
That's
off.
facts.
It's not,
That's
but
facts.
Russell Wilson will
He's
always
not been
get
doing
the
the
job
best.
done. Yeah, he'll always.
Dude, he's been falling off the past like 4 weeks.
Okay. You can't
He's
say
been throwing hella interceptions.
Dude. Okay. Hear me out, bro. Hear me out. The thing about it, okay, he was playing at an MVP. I know he's been falling off, right? He's playing at an MVP rate. You can't. He's going back to playing like at a above average. And don't get me wrong, Russell Wilson. He's my favorite quarterback in the NFL right now. Because Seahawks, go Hawks, baby. But Russell Wilson, and I think everyone can agree until week 4 or 5, he was playing. He was going to be an MVP. He was playing at MVP level, right?
Yeah.
But I can agree, has seriously declined. He has not been playing his best football. Especially doesn't help that Seattle's defense, secondary, horrible secondary, pass rush, horrible.
I mean, that doesn't affect Russ's playing.
But like,
I
if
mean,
you're saying that the Buccaneers aren't a contender
Wait. How does a defense affect a quarterback's playing?
Because
your own team's defense.
Field
offense
position
is getting tired. Yeah, offense.
If field position matters for him, then he's not an MVP quarterback.
That's fair.
What?
So you're saying he needs the ball inside his own territory?
Field position matters for offense in general.
I agree with Trevor.
Offense in general.
But I'm saying if you're saying Russ is an MVP,
I didn't say that.
He's saying he's above average. He's saying he's above average.
I said
Wait. Let on speak, and then Devin, you can go.
I'm not saying Russ should be MVP. I say he was playing at an MVP level. That's what I specify. I say he's playing at an MVP level. And I'm not saying he needs good field position to win. I'm saying our offense in general wants good field position throughout every single game. Do they not?
Well, obviously, yeah.
Okay, so then, yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 teams that are above the Buccaneers that you guys said. So if they're the third team in the NFC, they're still that they beat 38-9.
Hear me out. I think Vikings are better than Bucks.
That's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
I think
that is a very hot.
I was about to change the topic, but I think he's sending out the shots. Why do you think the Vikings are a better team than the Buccaneers?
Okay, so straight up, Vikings had been pretty good the past few years, right? This year, I still think the Vikings are good. They just haven't been playing that good. They haven't been winning games. They've been there, but they just haven't been winning games. Trevor, go ahead. Talk.
The Vikings still have to make the playoffs.
Go ahead. I know
they're not even in a wild card spot.
I don't know how you can. I don't think the Vikings are bad, but I don't think they're contenders with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is ass, and their defense, their corners are god awful.
The Bears are contenders.
Before we get on the Bears,
hell no.
I have a question about the
Bears. Got a rough.
Before we get on the Bears, because there's a lot to talk about with them and the Eagles right now. The point that I was going to point out to Trevor, Kirk Cousins has this season drove the Vikings down the field to win the game. I just want to put that out there.
Like in a game?
In a game? Matt Stafford does that. Are the Lions a contender? They're definitely not. Matt Stafford has so many game-winning drives.
True. They're
The
not
Lions
contenders.
haven't ever been anything, and they need a lot of help right now.
Matt
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is one of those QBs where you go, if he had that coach to drive his team to the promise,
Or if you had that skill.
yeah, like Matt Stafford would be in the conversation with top 10. That's what I think. But on seems like he doesn't agree.
No, actually, I agree with you, bro. Trevor is one who thinks Matt Stafford is not a good quarterback, and even Aaron Rodgers, who I said is my GOAT, and Trevor believes also his GOAT. Aaron Rodgers, who is a legitimate NFL QB, is saying no, Matt Stafford is legit. Come on now, Stafford is legit. But I don't know where Trevor's getting this BS from. His best receiver, you're gonna argue he had Megatron, arguably the best receiver.
Top three receiver ever.
Exactly, but he only had Megatron.
He had a mid-tier O-line all those seasons. How do you not win one playoff game?
You could literally throw the ball up to Calvin Johnson in triple coverage, and there is a 75% chance he's coming down with the football.
And
so you're gonna base your offense off throwing jump balls.
Okay. Also, good quarterbacks, they don't need great receivers. As you said someone said with Tom Brady, he made unknown receivers. Like if Rodgers, when he played this year versus Saints, without Devontae Adams, lit it up. Could anyone name one receiver? Alan Lazard was out and Devontae Adams was out, and he still went crazy.
Equanimeous St. Brown.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Who the fuck is that guy?
He was from Matter Die.
We're going to start the discussion. And I just wanted to throw something out there with the game. The Chiefs had the ball for 37 minutes, and Tom Brady and the GOAT and his offense only had the ball for 23 minutes. Chiefs offense lit it up. Total yards of 543 yards. Passing yards, 456. And total plays, 72. So I feel like Andy Reid and their coaching staff definitely played a part of that win. And it was a great win for the Chiefs. But now, Devin, I know you're going to like this conversation because Trevor's laughing at this team in the division right now. Bears were 5-1 and lost 5 games in a row. So now we have to ask the question to ourselves, is it time to clean house in Chicago? Devin, I want to start off with you.
What I think is they need a draft QB. Trevor Lawrence is probably going 1. Justin Fields is probably going 2. Depending on where the Bears pick, I really like Kyle Trask or Mac Jones. I don't think they need a clean house yet, but you got to give Nagy one more season with a quarterback that's slightly better because I do like Nagy as a coach. And if it's not going to be Nagy, I really think they should promote Chuck Pagano as a head coach because he has head coaching experience. And that defense has been a very, very good defense in the NFL. I know they struggled last week without Akeem Hicks, but he's their Draymond for the Warriors for that defense. He pulls the whole defense together.
Akeem Hicks is the Bears' best defensive player.
What'd you say?
He might be.
Easily.
Trevor, what'd you say?
Akeem Hicks is the Bears' best defensive player, and it's honestly not close.
I really like Kyle Fuller, too. And Jalen Johnson's a nice young rookie.
I like him, too.
I agree with you on that point.
And Eddie Jackson.
I was actually talking to Julius about that specific question like a couple hours ago. I said, don't clean. If anyone was supposed to go, the GM Ryan Pace needs to go.
Pace needs to be gone.
Pace should be gone because I don't even trust him with that QB pick.
Trade up, get all Bears fans excited, and pick Mitchell Trubisky out of North Carolina. Like you have to be it's just
for no reason
at that point because you're looking at a QB like Patrick Mahomes. I get that Patrick Mahomes didn't have that good of a college career, but John Gruden compared him to Brett Favre, one of the top-tier quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. That could be debated, but I think he's top-tier Hall of Fame quarterback. Then you got Deshaun Watson, who not only won, but 2 national championships. Those 2 national championships was won against Alabama. So how can you sit up here and choose Mitchell Trubisky over Deshaun Watson. And I just feel like that decision alone, you just gotta leave after that. And I feel like he's the first person to go. And the next down the list is if Matt Nagy has another subpar season, he's got to go too.
Well, when you talk about cleaning house, it's pretty much just head coach, GM, quarterback.
Yeah.
I think Nagy should be the last one of the three to go. I think that Trubisky, Foles is under contract, but Trubisky and Ryan Pace both have to go this season. Give Nagy another year. Why not? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're developing a quarterback. And Matt Nagy has, in the past, been a very creative offensive play caller. But they just need to keep Chuck Pagano as a DC right now because they lose too many DCs every year.
All right. Since I feel like we talked about the Bears situation, there's a really good game last Sunday that came on at 12. Tennessee going all the way to Indianapolis for a very pivotal AFC South game against the Colts. And I was looking at the game. I thought it was going to be a close game because the Colts have one of the best defenses in the NFL. Tennessee has one of the best running backs in the NFL and has a QB where he can just throw for 100 yards or less and still win the game. I just find that bizarre. Tennessee obliterated the Colts 45-26. Anj, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised, bro. I mean, in the beginning, Colts defense, I actually have the Colts defense on fantasy. Colts defense was playing amazing. They were playing amazing. I personally wasn't able to watch the game because I was at work, but Colts defense was amazing. But then, like, throughout the season, they slowly progressed. And Titans have an offense where, bro, you have to, like, because of their running game, you have to be on top of your game 24/7. You can't hold back on the Titans, bro, because their offense is too elite. You know, run, get defense to bite on the run, throw the ball. So, I mean, I can't really say I'm surprised. Colts defense has not been playing at the same level they're playing the first few weeks. And Titans offense is elite. As simple as that.
And I have to go off of that because I'm going to bring in my Buffalo Bills, as everyone in here knows. I love the Buffalo Bills. I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan. And watching the Bills previous from this year, our run defense is always talked about because it's always so good. And just to watch Derrick Henry just take a giant turd on the Bills defense, it just boggled my mind. I was like, wow, like Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs of this game. And I wanted to bring in some stats that Henry had 27 carries, rushed for 178 yards, 6.6 yards for each carry, and had 3 touchdowns. And with him just doing that, you don't even have to do that much if you're Ryan Tannehill, if you're A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, because all you got to do is just sit back and relax and enjoy the Derrick Henry show. So, Devin, with this game, who was it a bigger win for Tennessee or a bigger loss for the Colts?
I don't know. That's kind of a tough question. I think it's just equal both ways because Tennessee really need to win that game just to show that they can play because that was supposed to be a very good defense that they were playing against. They need to show that their offense was legit and they can control the play clock or control the clock and throw it when they need to because A.J. Brown is developing a really nice receiver 1 and Corey Davis is a nice receiver 2 and Tannehill's nice too. But I think it's a big loss for the Colts too because, I mean, Phillip Rivers is just getting too old. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the Colts are, like, going to be a great team this year. I mean, they're a good team, but I don't think they're going to be a great playoff team just off the fact that their quarterback can barely move around in the pocket. And T.Y. caught his first touchdown that game. And he's a lot better receiver than that with Andrew Luck and even with Jacoby Brissett in. He's doing better than he is this year. And with Jonathan Taylor was out too, though.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Trevor, you got anything?
Wait. Question. Question for Devin. You said you don't think the Colts will be a contender because their quarterback is too old to move out of the pocket.
Yeah, I
You're
think
just talking about Tom Brady being a contender. And if you rush Tom Brady, he cannot do anything. If you touch him at all, he cannot move. Do you comparisons to them at all, or do you just think Tom Brady?
Well, yeah, the ball and tries to throw it downfield. Tom Brady gets the ball of his hand fast.
Yeah,
which is a complete Phillip Rivers doesn't sense when the pocket's breaking down around him and he needs to get the ball out. But Tom Brady gets the ball out a lot faster.
Tom Brady was getting rushed the other day, last game, and he threw it off his player's helmet because he was scared, and it was picked off.
I did not see that play.
Yeah, Tom Brady had 2 interceptions, and he was sacked twice with the Chiefs defense, and the Chiefs defense is not that elite. But now
that's why I think the Titans are going to be could knock off the Chiefs this year. If any team is going to do it, it's going to be the Titans. Just the way they can run the football. And they can score. And they got a nice defense, too.
I agree.
Not a lot of stars on their defense, but they got a lot of
defense almost
great players.
Literally, I was about to say that defense almost beat the Steelers too, but we'll get to the Steelers later down in the podcast. Now, I want to do picks for next week's games, and I'm gonna just say a game, and then you guys tell me your picks, and then we're going to do a little upset pick. And, yeah, so right now the Browns have a big game going into Tennessee playing the Titans. Devin, I'm going to start with you. Who wins the game?
This is a really tough one. But after talking about the Titans and how good the Titans are, I think they just came off a pretty big win against the Colts. I think they're about to get upset by Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's going to wake up feeling dangerous that day and get the dub.
Okay. Going off that point, because I thought you were going to go for Tennessee. Nick Chubb coming back was huge change because now everything's flowing with the offense, and Baker's playing good, Jarvis is playing good, everyone around them is playing good, and I feel like the Browns are going to give the Tennessee Titans a run for their money. I'm gonna wake up feeling dangerous on Sunday. I'm going with the Browns too.
Yes, sir.
This is way too easy. Matter of fact, I'm even ashamed that we are actually considering thinking Baker Mayfield's going to wake up feeling dangerous. Bro, okay, don't get me wrong. The Browns have been playing pretty good this season. They've been playing pretty good this season. Titans are cold Titans are very good. Titans aren't just like pretty good. We've seen throughout the playoffs, Titans are very good. The Titans are really good. Titans just knocked off, a top 5 defense in the league. 40 points on their dome. Browns' defense is good. I don't think Browns' defense is stopping Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill's offensive pass and run scheme. So that's easy. Titans are dubbing the Browns. Come on now.
Oh, that's a tough one. I got to go Titans on that. You got to go Titans.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry's just been playing crazy. I like the Browns' defense, but I don't think they're getting it done.
All right, we're going to send it out west. 2 big games, or a big game for both teams. The Los Angeles Rams go into Arizona to play the 6-5 Cardinals. I'm going to start it off with Trevor. Trevor, who do you got for this game?
Give me the Cardinals. Love Kyler. Love D-Hop. Defense and Rams, all they really have is a defense. Not a big fan of Goff. Cardinals need to win this game. I think they're taking it.
I feel like it's a must-win game for both of these teams, and we'll get to that later in the podcast. Anj, who you got?
That is really tough. I'm not gonna lie. That's tough because Rams' offense isn't that good. Rams' defense had been playing actually pretty lights out. They've been playing previously they weren't, but they've been playing pretty damn good these past few weeks. Cardinals' defense isn't that good, but Cardinals' offense is pretty elite. So that's tough. I might have to go Cardinals.
Devin?
I'm going Cardinals too. I think the Cardinals are a better football team.
I
just like the way that offense can, the talent it has.
Arizona,
even Kenyon Drake.
Arizona He's got DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler has proved it once before that he can just throw it up and DeAndre Hopkins would be there. Then you got Chase Edmonds in the background. But that Rams defense is just looking so lethal. I'm going to have to take the Rams. I'm going with the Rams.
I won't blame you for that. That Rams defense has been looking really elite.
And another thing I want to add to like why I'm picking the Rams is Sean McVay's coaching scheme on offense. It's just so much movement that is so hard to stop that offense. So that's another reason why I'm picking the Rams. Now we're going upset picks. So my upset of the week will be, well, it's not really. Now I'm counting it as an upset. For today, I'm counting it as an upset. I got the Lions over the Bears.
Yeah, that could easily happen.
That could happen.
The Bears are.
That could.
Like, do we know if Mitch is still playing?
Yeah, Mitch is starting.
Oh, I don't think it matters who their quarterback is right now.
It really doesn't.
What you got?
Yeah,
Actually,
no,
I'm gonna change mine. Just because I saw how the Colts played against Tennessee, and I'm seeing how that bad man Deshaun Watson's playing, I'm taking the Texans over the Colts at home.
I like that one.
I was looking there.
I like that one. I can ride behind that.
What you guys is upset?
I'm gonna have to go Niners over the Bills.
Oh,
they got a lot of injuries.
John,
it's still a good. That's still a good football team.
Well,
I don't know if this one would count as an upset. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I'll go in after.
I don't know if this counts as an upset. I don't know how you guys look at it, but I think that the Chargers can beat the Patriots. I don't know if that's really an upset because I don't know if it'd be a surprise, but I think Chargers would be Patriots.
No, I would definitely say it's a surprise because one, the Chargers are 3-8. Two, the Patriots way, or not the Patriots way, the momentum the Patriots have right now on winning against the Cardinals, one of the best teams, analysts say, in the NFL, beating them and beating some other teams along the way, I would consider that as an upset.
Justin Herbert has been playing pretty damn good football.
Has been. That was a great pick.
Yeah.
T-Cents, Dev? Wait, Dev, did you say your upset?
Yeah, Niners over Bills.
Oh, yeah. I got to get back to that. T-Cents?
The upset I'm taking is the Atlanta Falcons over the Saints. If you watched the Atlanta Falcons last week, freaking dismantle Las Vegas. Like, it was bad. They were playing on fire. Taysom Hill, I mean, he's not a franchise quarterback. Yeah, he'll run a couple of touchdowns in here and there, but if you shut him down, you shut that whole team down. I'm thinking Ridley goes off, Julio goes off, they're winning that game.
And another thing to add in on that point that you just made, Las Vegas came into that game, even though they didn't beat the Chiefs, but they only lost to the Chiefs. I think it was
they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs
in the first game.
In the second game, they lost to the Chiefs by a very close margin. So going into the Falcons game, everyone thought they were going to walk all over the Falcons, but the Falcons proved the point. Now, going back to before we switch topics, I feel kind of sad about that, Devin. Like, the Bills just proved that our defense can win us a game by Justin Herbert getting the ball 3 times and not scoring on any of those 3 possessions. I feel like we are going to go into San Francisco and, excuse my language, we're going to whoop some 49ers ass. That's how I feel. Now,
I mean, that might happen, but I don't know. The 49ers their record, even with the injuries, is still solid. You know, like, the Bills are a good team this year, but if I got to pick an upset, that's probably going to be it.
Now we have switched over to the basketball world. And we know a lot of people that love LeBron, and honestly, I just can't stand them. But you got to give credit when credit is due. He won his 4th NBA title. Anthony Davis won his 1st NBA title. So I got 2 questions, but I'll ask this one first. Will the Lakers repeat this year and be back-to-back champions? I'm going to start with you, Anj.
I think at first I was kind of iffy about this, and I was thinking maybe not. Well, okay. Let me put this. If Nets pick up, what's his name, James Harden? No chance. But besides that, I still think
they're getting Harden.
If they pick up James Harden, no chance. But still time. I think Lakers still have to give themselves a run for their money, bro. Like, I know everyone thinks the Warriors aren't going to be the same dynasty that they have been, but they actually finally have a big man. They have Curry, who's once again going to play at MVP level, and they're continuously adding players onto the roster who, like last season, Warriors just had to fall off. Simple as that. Curry was the only player next to straight 4-day contract players, bro. But
plays out next year.
Yeah. But I know. I'm saying like Curry last year was playing next to just 4-day contract players. It was trash people he's playing next to. But I still think Lakers are going to do a repeat. I still think LeBron has not shown any signs of slowing down, even though he didn't have the in the bubble he didn't have the most assists per game, he didn't have the most points per game, all of that stuff. It's because LeBron gets teams out of it. Teams has to shut down LeBron. If they want to win, they have to shut down LeBron. But LeBron is so good at getting other players around him better that it's hard to stop. And now that he has AD, who I think AD is a top 5 player in the NBA. A lot of people can go. That's a different topic for another day. I think AD is a top 5 player in the NBA. I think AD can go on to be one of the best big mans in NBA history. So I think, not just that, they probably have made the best offseason pickup moves out of all teams. So they just won a championship and made best offseason moves. I think Lakers are going to have to repeat.
And I want to go in on that point before T. Sims and Devin says anything. AD off of last season, too, the way that he was playing throughout the playoffs in the bubble, I would definitely put him in the top 5 conversation. I'm going to give the floor to Trevor. Trevor, what do you think about are the Lakers going to repeat this year?
I gotta say probably, yeah. Like, you just look at that team, like, who's beating them?
Exactly.
I'd love to see the Heat, like, bring it back, but I feel like that was kind of just like a bubble thing. Like, they had a nice little run, but I don't know if they're gonna play as well as they did next season. And the only other team, I guess, really is the Nets. But you got to see how Kyrie and KD play together. So,
Devin, what you think?
I think I'm gonna have to say that they're not gonna repeat. I've been told this before when I said the Chiefs versus the field. You got to take the field. And the Nets were a good team last year without KD for the whole year and without Kyrie for a lot of the season. So I know they haven't played together yet, but I think they're going to be a solid team. They have a shot at beating them. And the Heat are going to develop. Tyler Hero's young. Bam's pretty young still. A lot of their players are pretty young players.
I'm going to say this. I'm not the biggest LeBron supporter, but I'm gonna say this though, because you got to give credit where credit's due. Anj mentioned the Lakers have been making the best off-season moves, which I completely agree with. They got Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, and did they pick up anyone else or no?
Gasol.
Good, Marc Gasol. So now LeBron doesn't have to play the point, and they have more than one true big man because they have JaVale McGee. So Marc Gasol can play, and then you put in JaVale McGee too, both over 7 foot. And now you got to worry about not just LeBron, not just AD. You got to worry about Dennis Schroeder, then Marc Gasol. They're all bucket getters on that team. And to be honest with you, if I sit here and look at all the teams in the NBA and ask myself, is there a team that's going to give this Lakers team a run for their money? I would say no, because I feel like the Lakers right now, if we're just looking on paper, Lakers have the best team in the NBA right now. No question.
I don't know. I mean, you say LeBron won't have to play point guard, but he plays best with the ball in his hand and being a playmaker. So you don't think that's going to hurt them at all? You think it's going to hurt LeBron?
I don't think, because the big reason why they were such a good team last year because of the acquisition of Anthony Davis. Instead of just pinpointing on LeBron, like you have to worry about AD too. And LeBron can literally just throw an alley-oop or just pass it to AD because that's your whole focus as a team, is stopping LeBron James. And I don't think it's going to hurt him at all. Honestly, I think it's just going to make him a way better facilitator than he is now. Because when he gets the ball, he's just going to facilitate throughout his whole team.
Yeah, but the ball's going to be in his hands less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I don't think it's going to hurt him now. But that brings me to my next question. Looking at this NBA season, it's going to be a weird NBA season, just like this NFL season. But what are the most excited, or what teams are you most excited to watch this NBA season? You want to start off with Anj?
Easy as day. I think I am most excited to watch the Phoenix Suns play, bro. Devin Booker has been playing outstanding. He should have made the finals. He should have made the playoffs. That's unfortunate, all right? He would have been, if there was a Bubbles MVP, easily Devin Booker. Everyone can agree with that. And he just picked up CP3, a Hall of Famer point guard, who has took OKC, who was supposed to have a tank year, and he took them to the playoffs, and he took them to a Game 7 against the Rockets. Come on now. CP3 is not slowing down. Devin Booker is playing his best basketball right now. I'm excited to see what the Phoenix Suns can do next season.
Anj, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to agree with your point. I agree with that.
Sir.
Devin Booker doesn't have to play the point. He can actually play two. Like, he can actually play his true position. And not only that, you have him, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton.
Yep.
I don't know their four, but that's a pretty solid team, even though they lost a couple key players, Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre. But I'm excited to see the Suns, baby. I'm excited. I'm excited. But another team that I'm excited to see, and I said this earlier, but like more and more, I'm thinking, or I didn't say this earlier because I was talking to Devin about this earlier. I'm excited to see the Charlotte Hornets play because
yes, sir.
Everyone is talking about the hype with LaMelo Ball. I feel like LaMelo is going to have a great career, and a couple accusations, that the Hornets made.
Accusations, you had it right the first time.
Acquisitions.
Accusations. My fault. That's on me. That they made over the offseason was pretty good. So I'm excited to see the Hornets. Trev?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Hornets. Q-Tran or LaMelo. I'd also say the Pelicans. I want to see what Zion can really do if he's going to keep playing how he was when he first came in. Also, Mavs. Luka is cold.
Yes. I'd say second Mavs.
I would say my second is the Mavs too, but my first is the Pelicans. They got so much young talent there. You got Lonzo, you got Zion Williamson. Brandon Ingram's there. He's starting to get older, but he's starting to get into his prime. And then Jackson Hayes is young too. He's like 20 years old. That team's going to be developing for the future, and they're a bunch of entertaining players to watch. Lonzo ended up shooting 37% at the end of the season last year. Like, he's starting to get a jump shot. That team's starting to come together. If Zion can stay healthy.
Now,
because he's a little too.
Oh, go ahead, Devin. I'm sorry.
He's a little too big for his own body. I feel like he's one of those players that's like he could be too explosive, like a Derrick Rose. Like he might end up getting hurt.
I definitely agree with that. Now we're getting on Devin's favorite topic because Devin loves this topic, loves this team that I'm about to mention. We're going to talk about college football. And honestly, COVID obviously has been hitting everything, especially in the sports world, because these teams can't play out-of-conference games, and that's going to affect them in the college playoff system. So Devin, I'm going to start off with you. How big is COVID towards the college football world?
I think it's huge because you're hearing rumors about Ohio State not playing in a Big Ten championship game. And if they're only 5-0 against not a very tough schedule, why not put a Cincinnati in this year? That's going to be 10-0. I think they'll have played one or two ranked teams, just as much as Ohio State, with double the amount of wins. Yes, they're not in as good of a conference, but it's 2020. Why not throw in a group of 5 team? You know what I mean? That Michigan State win is going to look a lot better, though, for them.
And I definitely agree with that, because I was going to say Florida, if Kyle Trask, because Kyle Trask has been playing out of his mind, if he plays a team outside of the conference, like maybe Ohio State or like an Ohio State, a Northwestern, and give himself a challenge outside the SEC, like
Notre Dame maybe.
Yeah, Notre Dame too. Would they be in the conversation for the college football playoffs? Trevor, what do you think about this?
I think this whole season, honestly, for college football is just stupid. Like, Wisconsin played like 3 games. I don't know why we're even playing. I think if teams have like one person with COVID, their game gets canceled. Why isn't that player just not play? That doesn't really make sense to me. And honestly, with college football, just change the playoffs. Put 8 teams in. 4 makes no sense.
They got to put 8 in.
I definitely agree with that. Anj,
Yep.
I see you're ready to say something. The floor is yours.
Low key, I have to agree with Trevor, bro. I like Trevor bringing that up. 18 playoffs. It is extremely bro, some teams are put in positions where some players get COVID, bro. Like this season, just this entire season has just been tough for everyone, especially college football. Teams are sometimes have to delay on game days because some players, for example, Clemson, when they played Notre Dame, they didn't have Trevor Lawrence, who was an elite quarterback, probably the best quarterback in college football right now. They ended up losing Notre Dame. That took them from being number 1 to now number 3. So I feel like, honestly, they have to give out 8-team playoffs. I think it's way more interesting given 18 playoffs and the positions we've been put in. All college football players, all college football teams, the positions they've been put in, I feel like it'd be A, more entertaining to watch 8-man playoffs, and B, it'd be because bro, besides Notre Dame and Bama, who else? Like, who's the other two? Like, no, that's those are just throw up. You don't know. Even if you put Clemson in, I don't know. Like, for example, even if you put Florida in, Florida, you could say possibly should make it over Clemson, right? So that's why I say choose 8 teams. NCAA should choose 8 teams, put them all in the playoffs, and let it play out.
I definitely agree with that because I feel like that's the most fair system that you can do for college football. Because if some teams, due to this situation too, that some teams might have more of an advantage than others. I just think that's an unfair system to go about. And I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to go over to the NFL because this is a big problem. Like I said, it's a big problem everywhere. But for the NFL, with the playoffs coming up too, a home field advantage is not going to even matter because there's no fans in the stadium. So it's just going to be you versus the other team without no fans in the stands. So it's gonna be rough.
I think it'll still matter a little bit, but not to the extent that it normally does.
Yeah.
Because they'll be able to stay at their own house and get ready for the game instead of a hotel. But not having fans in the stadium, or at least in most of the stadiums, is going to be the noise is not going to be an advantage to the team that's a higher seed.
Yeah.
Now, damn, we should do this every week. I like this little podcast. It's nice. Get a cup of coffee one day when COVID's all over. Just do this.
Gotta do one thing where I feel like every week, one person, I don't know much about baseball or hockey, stuff like that, but one person brings a hot take, and everyone's gotta give their opinion on it. We need a hot take. You feel me? Like
a hot take right now, Anj.
Yeah, start us off.
Oh, this isn't really a hot take. I feel like everyone's gonna. Nah, this isn't a hot take. Wow. All right, bro. I gotta think now. Oof. Nah, actually, nah. You can't put me on the spot.
What was it?
Well, I was gonna say this. This is easy. I feel like everyone agrees. Steelers. This is the worst undefeated team in NFL history.
I think they are one and done in the playoffs. They play one game. They get the 1 seed. They get sent home.
I feel like that's not really a hot. That's not really a hot take because it's just like,
My hot take.
I mean, today's game was the sloppiest football game I've seen in a very long time.
They should have blew out the Ravens. Honestly, Ravens had a lot of players on the COVID reserve list.
I mean, they had Trace McSorley in a quarterback for part of the game.
Exactly. And that Ravens defense, top 10 defense in the NFL, is missing like 5 to 8 players. So
wasn't even throwing it on a dime.
I got 2 hot takes. One is in baseball. White Sox won't be. I'm a White Sox fan, but White Sox won't be as successful as they were this year. Then my other hot take will be Texans, Deshaun Watson, without D-Hop, without Bill O'Brien, will make it not only to the playoffs, but to the second round of the playoffs.
No.
Yeah, nah. Holy shit, what are you on?
Yeah.
Give me some of that.
They're going to come in as like the 7th seed and play like the Chiefs. They're going to play the Chiefs in the first round if the Steelers win out.
Hey, I'm giving you a hot take.
Wait.
Hot take's got to be realistic.
And, well, based on the way that the Texans are playing and based on Deshaun's past, I think Deshaun can carry this team to the playoffs. And
all right, let's look at their
if they upset the Colts this Sunday, it's going to shock the world, and it's going to show the world that the Texans can be a playoff contender. So if they walk in and playing like they'd be obviously the bottom seed, but if they knock off number 1 team or number 2 team, I feel like.
So you think they're gonna beat?
In my opinion,
you think they're gonna beat? You think they're gonna beat the Colts after an embarrassing loss in the division?
Like I said, with the momentum that Deshaun Watson and the Texans are riding, I think they'll beat the Colts. That's why I chose them as my upset.
Okay. Who do they have to play still, Trevor?
So they got the Colts twice. So I don't know. And then they got the Bears and the Bengals, which you can give them 2 wins. Give
Those
them
aren't
6
guaranteed
wins.
wins, though.
They're not. And then their last game is the Titans. So
that's tough. No, yeah, that's.
I'm looking at
that was an icy cold take right there.
I'm looking at a 6-10, maybe 7-9 finish.
John, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. If they had an easier schedule, maybe, dude. That's not
But if
they have to win out, bro.
If the Texans do win out, or do win this game,
they're not gonna. John, this is all hypothetical. They're not gonna.
They're not gonna win out, bro.
We'll see.
John, please give me whatever you are smoking right now. Please.
I think that's the hottest take anyone could ever say.
That's not really that. That's horrible, bro. Like a hot take has to be arguable, bro. Like, what are you arguing?
I'm
miracle. They're not gonna win out. Yeah, you're arguing a miracle, bro. You can't argue like, come on, bro.
No, I'm arguing that Deshaun Watson can carry his team to the playoffs.
You're arguing that he becomes Jesus.
Yeah.
Not that he makes it to the playoffs.
Because
they have to win 5 games. They're gonna have to win 5 games where they're a close favorite in 2, maybe not even, but they're not record-wise favorite over the Bears.
And you can't forget, anything happens on a given Sunday.
They play the Colts twice though, so like.
And the Titans. Oh, the Titans game might not be meaningful, but Yeah.
I mean, if they have to win out, it'd be meaningful. If they have to.
Well, no. I'm saying for the Titans, that might not be a meaningful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like weeks. Is that week 17?
Seeding. Yeah, for seeding.
Yeah, for seeding it might be, but they might be the 3 seed already without being able to be the 1 or 2.
I feel like the Texans, since we're talking about this now, I feel like the Texans will put up a game with each and every team that they have to play through the last shed of the season.
I don't think they score more than 10 points on the Bears.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a game the Bears can still win. Like that's a game they have on their right. I hope they lose it though.
Are you trying to tank?
Might as well at this point. Like, yeah, we're still in the picture, but as long as we beat the Lions again, I'll be happy.
Right.
Shout out Jay Stu.
Yeah, Jay Stu and his Lions. I feel his pain. I used to feel that pain too with my Bills. Devin, did you give us a hot take?
Mine was gonna be the Steelers one, but the Steelers are getting sent home after their first playoff game.
T-Sense, what you got?
Maybe LaMelo Ball for Rookie of the Year though in basketball.
I can see that. I wouldn't be surprised if Edwards is a bust.
Any of them could be bust.
Yeah.
There's so many question marks on all of them.
Oh, snap. All right.
I think. Here's one. Actually, my bad. I don't say enough.
Are you good?
All right. I think the Giants are going to win.
What?
He said, I think the Giants are going to win the NFC East.
I really hope so.
And first round of playoffs.
And first round of the playoffs?
Yes.
Oh.
Unless they're playing the Packers. But I don't
they
think
probably will be playing the Packers.
No.
Oh, they play the 2 seed.
No, because they're not going to be a wild card.
Daniel Jones
might be. Yeah, they're going to play.
Daniel Jones might be.
Then they're going to play like the Bucs.
Daniel Jones might be.
They can beat the Bucs. That defense has been playing very good. Danny Dimes. He's been getting better. And they don't even need Saquon.
Bro,
they don't.
If Giants beat the Bucs, bro, Devin, you never hear the end of it from Bryce, bro. This dude will go on and on.
I know.
On and on.
I know. I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that, though.
Well, guys, thanks for...
I don't know. The Eagles might win that division, though. They start Jalen Hurts.
Eagles might start tanking, I feel like, bro. Might as well.
The Eagles are in the same situation as the Bears right now, but it's even worse.
Giants actually have a future, bro. The Eagles are, like, they're in a tough position. Position.
Yeah.
But, guys, thanks for coming in. I enjoyed this a lot. We talked for a while. I lost track of time, but it's like Christmas Day. Just sitting back, relax, and talking about sports with the boys. I enjoyed it. Next week, or next episode, I should say, I'll be here. Devin, I don't know if Devin's going to be here. I don't know if Trevor's going to be here. I don't know if Anja's going to be here. But you'll see my face, though, or you'll hear me. So, guys, have a great Wednesday night. We don't have any Thursday night football games to look after, but I'll be in San Francisco cheering on my Buffalo Bills. Guys, it's been a pleasure. As always, love.